Think about the number of choices you face every day. Now consider how many of them require you to exercise willpower. How many times do you succeed? Self-control can be a daily struggle for a lot of people, and getting better at it can often seem like an unattainable goal. But according to Dr. Kelly McGonigal, when it comes to willpower, change can begin in the brain. She starts off here by breaking apart the idea of willpower into 3 different skill sets we can develop in order to create lasting change.
Well, overall, I talk about willpower as being the ability to do what matters most, even when it's difficult. But I think that it's helpful to break it down into 3 different types of powers, or the 3 different kind of skill sets we need in order to do these difficult things. And so I call that I will power, I won't power, and I want power. And I won't power is really the classic kind of willpower that most people think of, the ability to resist temptation. So maybe, you see that extra dessert and you feel like you really want to have it, and so you're about to reach for it, but you have to say, no, I got to remember that what I really care about is my health, and so I'm not going to indulge. Or resisting that craving to smoke a cigarette. So that's kind of that classic I won't power. How do you recognize when you're about to do something that is inconsistent with your goals, and then have the strength to stop yourself, to restrain that impulse? It's sort of a more neglected aspect of willpower is what I call I will power, and that's the ability to find the energy and to find the motivation to do things that are overwhelming. It could be things that we find boring, could be things that we find uncomfortable, could be things that make us anxious, whether it's being willing to comply with a medical treatment that's uncomfortable and painful, or whether it's the ability to get out of bed early in the morning to exercise. Like, where are you going to find that motivation and that reserve? And so I call that I will power, and that's really saying yes when some part of you that's stressed out or tired really just, would rather not. And the last aspect of willpower, the part that I call I want power, is the part that most people never think about at all. And that's to consider the possibility that knowing what you really want, what your goals are and what your values are, the relationships that matter to you, to have a kind of big picture vision of your life, that is also a strength. And it's what gives us the ability to say no when we want to give in to temptation. And it's also what gives us the ability to find our strength and our courage when we are feeling stressed out or anxious or overwhelmed.
If we can shift our thinking and start to see willpower as a strength that can be trained, we can begin to build up our reserves. And that involves 2 key steps. First, understanding where willpower lives in the brain, and second, developing a willpower workout routine. That's what we'll get into this week with Kelly McGonigal, author of The Willpower Instinct. She'll be our next guest in the Brain Smart webinar series. We'll also talk about what's going on in the brain when we lose our willpower, and give you specific willpower boosting exercises you can try right away. The webinar is free to watch at the time of broadcast. Just click on the link below to sign up now.